What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Uncle on the Couch podcast. Man, I'm glad to have y'all back with me. This is episode 7. Yeah. Um, it's been quite the journey. It's been pretty good. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna shoot straight with y'all, man. I almost gave up this week. I know all of the stuff that I've said throughout my videos and all of that, but I almost did. And it had nothing to do with the actual podcast or any of the content or, views or any of those kinds of things. It was, more personal. Um, my regular life, I should say. It was some factors there that had me doubting myself. It had me doubting my abilities. It had me doubting a lot of things to where I almost threw in the towel. I was this close, but I didn't. Almost didn't make this video, especially because of the topic. So, to before I even jump into it, today is going to be a bit more personal for me. Um, it's it's gonna be me talking to myself, basically. So hope y'all, ready for another good one. Strap your belts and get you something to drink, something to smoke on, whatever it is you do. Enjoy another episode being on the couch with me, man, and let's kind of get to it. But wait, time out. Before we get to it, first off, everybody that's subscribed, shared, liked, any of those kinds of things, man, told somebody, sent a link to somebody, I appreciate it wholeheartedly. Helping me get this message out to people. Um, Not only do I appreciate it, but it means something to me because I genuinely do this from the heart. Yeah, I know, I've joked and said, yeah, I'm trying to make money off of it or whatever, but even if nothing comes from it, it's something that I knew I had to do. And I appreciate any and everybody who supports that. So, thank you. It's probably helping somebody or it could help somebody or, any of this information in the right hands, it could do something positive, something powerfully positive. And that's all I'm trying to do, man. So thank you to each and every person who took the time out to watch, whether you watch 30 seconds, you watch 30 minutes. I appreciate it all the same, man. So from me to you, cheers. All right, now, whew, let's get to it. So today I want to talk about why are you comfortable but not living in peace. Um, for me, that is something that hits very, very close to home. It's weighed on my heart for 2 weeks for this specific video. So, some people, that may watch this, I've talked to, and for me, I typically write out my episodes. I write out the notes. I write out what my topics are, any of those kinds of things to really not only kind of segment my thoughts or compartmentalize them or however you want to phrase it, but I do that so that it's authentic for me. That's my way of putting myself into it rather than just grabbing a topic off the timeline or something like that. Ooh, excuse me. So for me, being comfortable but not living in peace looked a lot like I was missing boundaries and routine. I had no routine to my life, to my daily cadence, nothing outside of get up, go to work, come home. That was the only routine I had. There was no read a Bible, there was no go to the gym, there was no eat something healthy. There was no go walk a mile, read a book, none of those things. And I'm naming positive things, but of course, some people have not so great things in their daily routine. But for me, I had none of that. So my life was a lot of just nomadic. It was me doing whatever, just kind of going with the wind. And as a man, that I did a disservice to myself, that I didn't really realize what I was doing until I got to this point. Um, but what does a routine really look like for some people? And I think that was where I stumbled in that beginning portion, because I was comfortable, but my life wasn't peaceful. It felt hectic because I had to figure out what I was gonna eat. I had to figure out what I was gonna do, or I got this option to go do this, but then I got this option to go do that. Everything felt overwhelming because I had nothing to center me. And figuring out what that routine really looks like, that was probably the hardest part of this entire journey. It led me to, number one, it led me to God, but then it led me to, who am I? What do you want to do? What is it that what is it that you have to contribute to whatever? Being involved in work, or involved in trying to professionally, like, mentor people, or any of those kinds of things. Like, that's where I was like, okay, well, what do I have? Um, I've had a lot of experience. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've done a lot of things wrong. So I had to look back on all of those things and then figure out what's the good in all of that. What can I take? And all of those attributes led me to this. The being able to share some of my experiences and motivate people and all of those things. But then I had to figure out how do I convey that? And that's where I got to, all right, I got to build some type of routine to figure out, where do I find the time to convey a message, or build a message, or build a audience, or any of those kinds of things. If I knew I wanted to convey my message in this format. But figuring out that routine was hard. It you don't want to give up time. You don't want to find that time, because it always feels like, oh yeah, well, I got so much stuff to do, or I'm doing this, or I got to do that. And it feels like, yeah, well, I ain't got time to figure it out. Or, nah, if I do this at this time, then I won't be able to do this. But I promise you, the minute that you take a step back and really kind of say, hey, this is necessary, this isn't necessary, I can take this out. Now I got a free 2 hours to where I can read, work out, and then I can do X, Y, and Z. Figuring out that routine, excuse me, it takes some real self accountability. It took me to figure out where I was wasting my time. The things that I was involved in, or people that I was around, that was like, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. You're not investing anything into yourself. So remove those things from your routine, and then see how much time that you have. And I figured out I had a whole lot of time. I had a whole lot of time that wasn't utilized, which I've had before, but I kept utilizing it in the wrong way. And I kept figuring out, I'm not getting nowhere. I'm utilizing all my time to do all of the wrong things, but I aspire for all of these great things. I want all of these great things. I know I'm capable of all of these great things. I know God even has ordained for me to have certain things, and I can't get them. I can't get over that hump. I'm wondering why I can't do this, or I won't do this, or any of those things. And it's because my routine looked nothing like the direction that I was supposed to go. So taking my life to God, but then also having that introspective thought process, it allowed me to say, yeah, every day I wake up, I'm going to read my word. Or on my off days, I'm going to wake up, read my word. I'm going to drink tea. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to eat fruit now. Or I shouldn't say now, but I consistently eat fruit. I'm going to change my diet from eating a bunch of red meat to more fish and chicken and all of those kinds of things. So it led me to those topics. And then, of course, I built my routine off of that. And it helped. But then as I started to do that, and I got in that routine and I changed all of those things, I started to realize I was holding myself back by my own design and didn't realize it. So a lot of those things that I was doing that weren't good, it was still planned in my day or planned in my weekend or my time or whatever, as I said before. But that was the routine that I built. I thought I was living nomadic. I thought I was just going by the wayside or whatever. But in retrospect, I started to realize, hey, that was what you planned for. So no wonder why your life was so chaotic, because you planned for chaos. And that was a very demoralizing realization. It made me feel terrible because I realized that I wasted so much time doing nothing that I wouldn't get back. And time is precious, right? Nobody has a infinite amount of time. Nobody knows when their time is up. And I realized through that if I'm doing all of the wrong things and I'm not giving myself any structure, then I'm just leading myself down the worst path that there could ever be. But then also, I'm not controlling my controllables. And I know anybody who's worked with me has heard me say that on many occasions: control your controllables. And all I'm saying is, don't worry about nothing that you can't control. And when I didn't have a real structure and real routine around my life, that was all I worried about, was everything that I couldn't control. And I was so stressed and I was chaotic, or my life felt chaotic, and I was constantly worried, and I didn't feel like I was progressing anywhere, didn't feel like I could do anything. And I wasn't taking my own advice. And that's, as crazy as it sounds, that was what led me to, that was part of what led me to this point. Being able to film this episode, to give you guys this content and speak these things, that this is my controllable. This is my way to go ahead and say, hey, I can be transparent with people. I can give something to people. I can allow people to see me in a space and see where I've grown to, where I've grown from, for some of those who know me. But then also, this is now part of my routine, my setup, my writing down my episodes, my adjustments to filming, all of these things. How I set up these episodes it's now part of my routine, which is a good thing. And it's allowed me to focus some of that untapped energy, or some of that wild energy, I guess I would say, just the undirected or unguided, if undirected is a word. That don't even feel like a word. But the energy that I wasn't using, I'm able to now channel it into this. And that's, man, it's a good feeling. It is 100% a good feeling. because now I don't feel like what I can't control is leading my life. I can't control, if somebody is outside and they fall. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But what I can control is this. So when I'm focused on my controllables and I'm controlling my controllables, you feel better. You sticking to your routine. You feel better because you're worried about the things that you've set in front of you. You're making progress on whatever your goals are, or whatever it is that you like to do, or whatever your routine is set around. You're controlling it, and it's okay. Because what you can't control is going to lead to stress. It's going to lead to fatigue. It's going to lead to you being angry. You're going to be mad, all of those crazy different things, man. But focusing on yourself, or what you can control, or what God gave you to control. I should rephrase that. That'll give you peace. It'll give you peace of mind, and then it'll also bring you joy. And I say all of those things because the Bible tells us to commit over and over. Commit in several different ways, or commitment in several different ways is mentioned in the Bible hundreds of times. I'm gonna just guess. Don't quote me on that. I may be wrong, but I know it's a bunch of times. And that commitment biblically means to release control. So releasing control is what gives you that peace, that joy, all of those different things, man. So committing to your controllables, or what God gave you to control, and your routine, committing that to the Lord is going to give you your peace. It's going to give you calmness in your life. It's going to give you peace of mind. You don't have to worry. You don't have to sit up and feel any of the things that you feel. I can promise you that. I can attest to that. Yeah. I needed a little drink after that. Yeah. Oh man. So, yeah. That's the long short on that part, man. This one was, or is, a little personal for me, man. I've realized streamlining my life has set me worlds apart from where I used to be to where I am now, or where I feel I am now, or where I've grown to. I'm still growing, still a work in progress, but just like building your routine, streamlining, whatever you want to call it, even stuff down to, I watched a Rob Dyrdek interview, or his podcast, I should say. It wasn't an interview, where he was talking about, he, at one point when he was doing Ridiculousness on MTV, that he was shooting X amount of episodes per day, and he didn't have time to worry about stuff like, oh, what am I gonna eat today, or any of that kind of stuff. So he started to streamline his life and treat his life like his business. And when he said that, it stuck with me. And of course, at that time, I ain't had no business. I ain't had nothing. It was just like, all right, yeah, he said something profound. It struck me in the heart, and it just kind of stuck with me. But fast forward to now, that's where I was like, that kind of makes sense. Because now I get into those situations where I've done so much throughout the day. I had to work, I had meetings, I had people to develop, I had plans to draw up, and then I get off, and then I'm like, man, I gotta run and pick up this package, or I gotta go do this. And then by the time I finish all of that, I ain't ate nothing, and it's 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I gotta figure out what I wanna eat. That was where I started to be like, man, like, this is a lot. I don't feel like doing all of this. Can't somebody come figure this out for me? I'm tired of figuring out what I want to eat. If my mama watching this, she done heard me say that a billion times. So I know she probably get a kick out of that. Somebody had said the other day, they was like, man, your mama probably proud that you doing the podcast or whatever. And I was like, my mama don't watch this shit. No. But which, I'm sorry, Ma. I know you do watch it now, but at first, ain't nobody know I was doing this. Bunch of people still don't know I'm doing it. I haven't promoted as much as I or people like or any of those things. I'm getting there, I promise you. But but yeah, so streamlining your life, it'll set you worlds apart, man. I have a staple meal: salmon, rice, veggies. That's what I eat every day. I don't have to worry about it now. I know when I get off, I got some salmon, I cook that up, got my veggies, cook that up, cook my rice. I'm cool, I got dinner. And that's led to a lot less mental agony when I get off. I don't have to sit up and spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat. Then I gotta cook it or I gotta go pick it up. I ain't gotta do none of that now. I know what I'm eating and I'm all good. Cause then when you do things like that, excuse me, when you do things like that, it allows you to not get distracted. And most people think distractions in your life are always another person. Another person isn't always a distraction. It could be something. It could be the lack of routine or structure that you have. A bunch of insurmountable tasks are also distractions. People always think, oh, well, yeah, it's just a goal. It's a long-term goal. And yes, it could be a long-term goal. It could be a goal that's going to take you 10 years, or it could take you 10 months. It could take you 10 weeks, whatever it is. You still got to break that down into smaller things, so that doesn't become all you focused on is the end goal and you never get started, or you constantly getting distracted or discouraged throughout that process. Give yourself the achievable small goals to get to that big goal. So it's not just one big insurmountable task that you consistently faced with every day, or you constantly starting over every day. And all of those things, it leads to you being distracted. If you can streamline all of those small things, and hey, I know every day if I walk 200 steps and do 200 sit-ups, I know I have a six-pack by May. If you do that every day, you'll knock it out. You'll have that six-pack by May. But if all you thinking about every day is, man, I want to have a six-pack by May. I got to have a six-pack by May. I got to. What have you done about it? May gonna get here and you still gonna be in the same body. You gonna be looking like me. So that's where you gotta figure out, what that looks like for you. How do you package that for yourself? And I know a lot of times it gets hard alone. I know, trust me, it's very hard avoiding distractions while you're alone. But you gotta find community. Find support, and I know anybody who hears this, who knows me, is going to chuckle, scoff, something. I promise you, I get it. I know. I am probably one of the most isolated people you probably ever find. I love solitude. I said it on one of them videos. But finding some type of support or community is how you keep yourself away from distractions, whether people or tasks, but then you also allow yourself to have that support or that push to those goals or to your routine. I can attest that I've had routines or had tasks in my life that I've told other people about, and when they check in and I'm slacking, Like, hey man, you said you was trying to do X, Y, and Z. What you doing? Or if they see you making good progress, hey, that's a good job, man. Keep that up. Because you said you was gonna do it, and look at you. You keep doing this or you keep doing that. Those are good things, man. So having those people around you, it'll feed you. It'll feed your spirit. It'll allow you to feel supported in those things that you want to conquer, or even just having that daily routine set up so that you can succeed in whatever it is. And then, I mean, of course, go to God through all of those kinds of things, man. The Bible literally tells us to cast your anxieties onto the Lord. So do it. Like it, the Bible gives you a roadmap to success. It gives you the the cheat code for life. So why not follow it? Give God the burden, give God the anxiety, the worries, the all of those kinds of things, and He gonna take care of it. That's what He's there for. He's there to make sure He can bear the things that we can't. He can bear it. We give it to Him. We ain't got to worry about it. Cool. I know you got it. I'm out. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I'm, focused on my day to day, and you, and we all good. And that's all He asking, man. So just do it. It'll help you. I can promise you. It is going to help you. And that mental clarity and that mental peace in these day and ages, or this time, or whatever, people need that, man. People working 60 hours a week and still can barely pay they rent or their car note or whatever it is that they need to pay, man. People are mentally stressed. And I think a lot of people don't recognize those signs. I think a lot of people have to willfully ignore it because of their situations or whatever it is that, people are going through. But, excuse me, it's hard. It is hard. So any way that you can give yourself some relief, or you can give yourself that opportunity to not have to focus on so much or let your mind wander on all of these different things, do it. I promise you, it's only gonna make you better. It's only gonna make your life feel a little easier. It's only gonna make you a better person. But then you can also teach it to somebody else. You can give that to somebody else, and it can help tons of people, man. So I would advise those things, but also, like I said at the beginning, man, this is really me talking to me. I'm looking in the mirror, saying all of this. I have wasted so much time with what I didn't know that now this is part of therapy for me, to be able to give it to somebody else, but then also release it for myself. And sidebar, black man in therapy. I love therapy. I advocate for therapy, man. It is a blessing. It is something that allows us as men to be unobjectively vulnerable. And it also allows you to grow. It allows you to really sit with yourself. A lot of people can't sit with themselves, and a lot of men can't sit with themselves. So it gives you that opportunity to where you don't have to hide from you. And that's a beautiful feeling. Very, very beautiful feeling, man. So please, if you aren't in therapy, try to find a therapist. There are some great therapists out here. There are some therapists that, people have to sort through. And my advice there would be, don't let that discourage you. There's so many advantages to therapy, man. So if you've been thinking about it, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. It is well worth it. Not just black men, black ladies, everybody. Go ahead, just take that step. Get you a session. I know like most companies now partner with Lyra Health, so you know it's free for like some companies, man. So give it a try. Please give it a try. It is well worth it. Um, Man, all right. So what else? What else we got, man? I think I done got deep enough today. It wasn't the intention to go that deep. If I could show y'all my notes, I would. But I genuinely didn't have most of this written out. I had an idea, had a couple bullet points, but that was it. It was just like I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna just be real. So y'all let me know how y'all like that versus the scripted episodes per se. Um, oh, so you know, I'm still building it. I'm still figuring out what my audience prefers from me. So yeah, give me some feedback. Let me know. You know, I'm always open to the feedback, man. But let's see what else we got. Um, oh, I know y'all probably wondering why the shades are back. So I bought a new light. I know I keep saying this, but this time I bought a professional light. So if the lighting looks different or better, I appreciate it. If you like it, if you don't, let me know. You know, some of y'all, I know y'all into uh, um, like photography and videography and all of that kind of stuff. So let me know how the lighting look. But it is crazy bright. Like it's one of the big professional lights, and man, it works amazing. But it's bright through my sunglasses. So I promise you, I'm gonna get used to it. I'm trying to get used to it. All right, hold on. Let's see. Good God, that is yeah. Mm. Whew. All right. Yeah, I can't do that one. Not yet. Not yet. I tried. I tried. All right. What else we got, man? Baby Keem. Baby Keem's album dropped. Fire. Front to back. Just like Melodic Blue, it's a banger. If you ain't listened to it, go listen to it. It is great album. Is super dope. Big fan of Baby Keem. Seemed like that whole PG Lang roster that Kendrick putting together. Baby Keem, Tana Leon, of course him himself, is they pretty nice over there. So I'm anxious to see what they gonna do. But yeah, Baby Keem's album is fire, front to back. I love it. What else I've been listening to lately? That new Jill Scott. I mess with that new Jill Scott. That came out a little while ago, so I don't know if I mentioned that on one of the other ones. If I did, oh well. Double shout out to Miss Jill Scott. I messed with the album, super chill vibe. Um, oh, how can I forget? Spiral Staircases. My man's Currency. I'm not a big Larry June fan, and I know some people gonna hear that and be like, "What?" Nah, I respect his music. I think he makes good music, all of those kinds of things. Just not personally the biggest fan. Not saying I don't like him, but not the biggest fan. But I do mess with the album. I think he laid some great verses, but Currency pulled a Hove. You know, like how Jay-Z will hop on like a Jay Electronica song and just take it over, or he hop on anybody song and he be Jay-Z. He big dog the track. That's what Currency did on Spiral Staircases. It's like, all right, I got this. Don't even worry about it. I got you. Verses impeccable. Alchemist crazy on the beats. Man, I've been nonstop on that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. The entire, I man, I love Currency. I appreciate him making authentic music, keeping it as he always did with his mixtapes. But man, you gotta lengthen the albums up. Some make the songs longer. Some you can't give folks that kind of crack, and you only giving them a little bit, man. We need, hey, you got to keep dropping. But no, that Spiral Staircases is fire, fire, fire. Uh, Nav dropped a track. Him and Young Thug, Trimsky. I mess with it. I like Nav. I think he pretty dope. I know a lot of people don't like him, don't know why, but I like him. I think he make pretty dope music. I think the song is fire, single's fire. So it's some decent music out, man. I know there's some other people dropping soon. So we'll see how those go, man. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good year for music, man. It feel like a good year all around. It's a lot of buzz and anticipation around a lot of things, man. It's a lot of beautiful things going on in life. So I don't know. It's the most blessed time to be alive, man. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. Um, but yeah, man, I don't want to hold y'all up too long. I appreciate everybody stopping by, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, sharing, liking, subscribing. If you hadn't liked, subscribed, whatever, do it. Do it now. But nah, man, I appreciate y'all. If I could leave y'all with anything, man, just continue to build your routines, control your controllables, and then really ask yourself, where do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And then just take a step towards that, man. I promise you. Trust your spirit and go for it. Whatever it is, just go for it. And I promise you, God gonna be with you, man. And I think that's all I got for y'all today, man. So if y'all ain't got nothing for me, peace.